we're here to talk about why you needed a little bit of help. Tell us a little bit about you. Your name is?
Judy Busby. I am 55 years old, and I am a single mother of a 27-year-old. Proud mother.
What's your history? How did this start? Were you...
Well, I was born perfectly normal. At one point in time I was. And when I was 4, there was a bump on my right foot, on the top of it. And they couldn't figure out how I got this bump. So the doctor decided to open it up, and there was dead scar tissue. And they couldn't explain how the dead scar tissue got there, and they were baffled. Well, from that point on, I had problems. I would get infections. They would not heal. It would eventually turn into an amputation. I've had over 100 surgeries. We lost count after that.
So it started with little surgeries, maybe toes, fingers, and because of your connective tissue disease?
Yes. The disease I have, I've seen doctors from all over the world. I've been to the Mayo Clinic. I've hit every hospital around here. The best they can diagnose is I have collagen vascular disorder, which is a type of Adler-Daniels syndrome. And I don't follow one disease all the way. And it's like it breaks off and then it drops off. And I also have a type of sensory neuropathy. I can feel pain, but I can't feel the fine touch, like a feather on me, or, the farther away from my heart, the worse it gets. Also, I had cancer. Before Christmas, I got sick. And I got the call the day after Christmas to come in that I was too sick to be home. And something drastic had to be done. My leg used to be longer. It used to be below the knee on this right side. And I had this huge hole, and I mean huge.
A wound?
Yeah, a wound. It was an ulcer, and it's been open for 20 years. They gave me blood. They had to build me up to have the leg amputated. They found out it was cancer. I had cancer, and there was nothing they could do about it. And they ended up taking the leg. I lost my first leg back in '81 after I graduated, and they just took part of my foot off. They didn't take the heel or anything, and then they went up a little higher next time, and then a little higher, and then it would get infected, and they'd have to go in and clean it out, and it was a lot of mess. The first time I had it amputated, I used to ride horses, and they had to let me out at 6 or 5 o'clock, in the morning, so I could make a horse show. And I had no idea how I was going to stay on, nor did anybody else. But I walked away with 4 ribbons. They're going to make me new legs. They're basically going to look like stilts. And hopefully start walking, even maybe running. Who knows? Sky's the limit once I get moving.
Judy, tell us a little bit. Part of your disease that is with your connective tissue and what happens to your joints and your bones.
Well, basically, my joints disintegrate. That's the best way to put it. They've wanted to take my arms several times, and eventually I will lose my arms. But now I have them. Yeah, I still have them. There's no joint. This bone right here is this bone right here. And this bone is the end of this bone. So they are literally floating in there. And the same goes for this one, but it's just one knot here, but they're not connected. I've lost my fingertips. I cannot bend any of my fingers. The tendons have been severed. I've lost both my pinkies, I've seen a doctor that did the first hand transplant in the United States, Dr. Bradenbach, and he told me, don't let them amputate your arm. If so, come to him. And he would put a elbow in from a cadaver. And that has its own, doctors that know me say, don't do it, don't do it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to lose my arm, but I will try anything. But when you do that, you can't garden, you can't have fresh flowers in the house. And to me, that's like my whole summer. I look forward to gardening and weeding and the stuff like that. That would be a hard thing. And not to have fresh flowers, I don't know. I love fresh flowers. Other doctors have told me that would be too risky, don't do it. But it's just kind of like in the back of my mind if something, did come. They've gotten really bad infected at least 4 times that they wanted to amputate them, but I'm still holding tight, because I like to hug people and get hugs back. So that's my main goal, is to keep them. But just try to do whatever I can and as much as I can. I like to ski. Now they got me in a little thing where I go down the hill, and I love to fish. There isn't too much things that I won't try doing. I just love life and like the challenge it gives me. It's not holding me back. It's definitely not holding me back.
What are your obstacles, your biggest barriers in the house? What you used to do before that you can't do now since your latest surgery?
Yeah, I used to crawl around the floor. I used to crawl everywhere. I never had a wheelchair in the house, Now I have to be in the wheelchair because I don't have that height. I can't get on the couch anymore. I can't even get in the wheelchair without assistance. They're going to order me a new wheelchair, and it takes anywhere from 7 to 8 months to make this wheelchair special for me, because now I have special needs. It has to go up and down because my arms don't work right, and I literally have to be over something like a counter or something. So in order for them to start this wheelchair thing, I have to have the bathroom widened, because the wheelchair that they want to build for me, it will not go through the bathroom.
The door.
Yeah, it won't go through the door at all. And they won't even consider making it till I make the bathroom bigger, wider. They want me to have a shower that I could literally walk into. I'm not comfortable on the shower chair. It's, I get help, but it's not easy. It's a lot of work. I have a electric seat thing that goes up and down the steps. I have one of those, but in order to get that installed, 1, I need an elevator guy. 2, one of the steps is higher because we had to hire it to put the refrigerator under the steps because I have a really small house. It would be nice to get back up in my bedroom. I miss my bedroom. And now we have to move the refrigerator and put the refrigerator in the mud room and raise that up and seal off a door, because I can't even get into the freezer with this electric wheelchair that is not working right now. This one, it needs charging like 3-4 times a day. It doesn't last long, and now it's not even working, and they won't fix this one. So it's been a battle. It's really, it's been challenging. It really has. It's hard. My family, my sisters are getting older, and my friends are all getting older like me. It's harder for them to push me, and it's just nicer for me to have my own wheelchair when we go places. This one's left me stranded a couple times. That's where we're kind of going. Try to get the house a little bit more smarter for me, just make it just a little more easy. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you learned something about wheelie people and how we get around and things we can't do. And if I'm the type of person you'd like to help out, I'd appreciate it. And if it's only just a prayer, that's great. I need all the prayers I can get. And just remember, keep the faith.